The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present. Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. Talk Radio, and you can see her face there. She's actually in the opening. Did you see that?
I did. I saw it.
That's Allyson Roberts, and she is one incredible lady. And she's also a transformational coach, and she's now, hold on. She is now a best-selling author, and the name of the book is The Spiritual Journey, the part no one talks about. And I just love the title, and I'm so proud of you because
thank you.
And it's your story that you've talked about a lot, but it really can be an empowering story for people who have gone through similar things in their lives, don't you think?
I do. And I also, there's journal prompts after all the chapters, except for one. The middle chapter doesn't have journal prompts, but there's journal prompts because a lot of times, Kevin, people just push through and move on. They don't stop and say, maybe I should look back a little bit and heal some of this garbage from my past. So the book really is to help anyone who has been through anything hard in their past to understand that they're not alone. We have an invisible team of angels, guides, and masters who are always with us, who look after us and guide us. We just have to be open to it. So the book is also about that.
Which is really cool because after each chapter is a little place for you to do some journaling and to talk about what you just read in the chapter before, so that you can then kind of put that into your brain on kind of a purposeful thing, which is, by the way, I want to make sure that everybody understands when we're talking about tragedy that happens in your life, it can be anything. And it doesn't have to be a horrible, nope. I was, raped and beat up. And it can be that my father didn't take me to the father and daughter tea ever because he just didn't want to go.
Right. Exactly.
Hence, he didn't love me. And that can create, a father's love is so important to a young girl that it can create a dynamic dysfunction for your entire life. So
or maybe he did love, but the story in their brain is that he didn't love them.
Exactly right. Exactly. Right. That somebody close to my heart has dealt with that her entire life. And because in her mind, she felt like she was less than because he wanted to stay home and watch TV and drink a beer rather than go to the father-daughter tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us how the book came to be, how you wrote it, and what was the reasoning behind it. I know the reasoning behind it, but what was there? An angel came down and tapped you on the head with a wand and said, "You're going to write the book now."
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. My adopted dad, the dad that raised me, didn't raise me, kind of thing. He passed away in 2017. And my story is, it was very painful for him, Kevin, because my mom is a narcissist and she destroyed my relationship with him. Pretty much our whole entire lives and my dad's entire existence was just fighting against her narcissistic manipulation. And so I wanted to wait to release the book until after he had left this earth because I just didn't want to hurt him anymore.
I understand. I understand. That's a really good motive, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, my family, if they were on here with us, they would tell you that, he and I were not close and we didn't have a special relationship, but we were in fact very close and we did have a very special relationship. It's just that, he and I both didn't know how to navigate through a narcissistic jungle because that's what it is. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you do not know what's coming next. Um, and it would just, their hold sometimes can be really, really powerful until it's not anymore. And so, you know, he never really dealt with it. He didn't get therapy or anything like that. And so when he left this planet, he and I's bond became even stronger because of my intuitive abilities. I can actually like fill him with me right now. And so I just was like, you know what? I'm going to put the story out into the world and it's time. And it just literally, it was one of those things where I felt the nudge and then it was the right time for the book. And then it's no coincidence, that Roe versus Wade was overturned the week that my book was finally released, because even though I'm pro-choice, I did place my son for adoption, which does not make me a saint. But I'm really glad that I had the choice, to choose to go to an abortion clinic, and because I did. You can read about it in the book. But it's not lost on me that everything that's happening in the world right now is the week that my book was presented to the world. I'm like, okay, God, I see you. I see what's happening here.
How did you feel about how that all came down? And not that we're going to spend a lot of time on it, but my personal opinion is that I would hate for government to get involved with my body, let alone somebody else that I cared about or loved. That I don't know. It's a hard question, but at the same time, I wish they'd have just left it alone.
Well, a gentleman on LinkedIn yesterday, I remember, I wish I could remember his name because I would love to just like put it out there in the universe. But he he made a very good point, and he said, the Supreme Court didn't just take women's rights away; they also took our rights away too, because not every man wants, to go through with the pregnancy either, and he's like, what, if, because he was talking about it because his wife almost died during her pregnancy, and the only thing that saved her was to terminate the pregnancy. And they already had 3 children, and so he's like, you don't want to be in my shoes where you're standing with the doctor, and you have 3 minutes to make a decision because your wife is unconscious and bleeding to death. He's like, I had 3 minutes to choose what I was going to do. And so he's like, if he didn't want to say, but he's like, the state that we live in right now, they would not have allowed me that choice. And so he's like, it's not just affecting women, it's affecting, all of us and my children and my children's children and their children and so on. So it's disgusting and it's heartbreaking. And, I hate it. I do.
I'm of the opinion that as long as we have 13 million children that are going to bed hungry in this country,
Yep.
and we have 4.5 million people in foster care,
Yep.
until we solve those issues, we should not be creating either of more of that. And
Well, and also too, I mean, if we're so pro-choice, or excuse me, if we're so pro-life, then then why are school shootings still happening? I
Right.
mean, and why are assault rifles, being allowed to get in the hands of people who are not good people, who are not soldiers and police officers. So yeah, it goes very, very deep. And then not even to mention, you know, the lack of support for binary children and gay children and and bipolar children and you know all of the struggles of society when children are different and they have you know a difference of opinions and they need extra help and extra love and extra care, and we're not there for them. So why would we want to bring you know open up the gates and let's just pour our country filled up with children who need special care, and the special care isn't there to give them?
I was always amazed that the state that executes more people than anywhere else in the country is Texas, and they
Yeah.
are a pro-life state, except except when they're not.
Yeah, it's all just double standards. I mean, it really is.
It makes no sense to me at all. But
Yeah,
and
it's
so consequently, right now, your book is needed more than ever. This show is needed more than ever
yes.
because we're going down a rabbit hole that I didn't think we'd ever have the necessary. I was going to say opportunity, but that's not the right word. Without the consequences of going down the rabbit hole that we are going to now go down, and it's terrible. It's bad. It's bad for everybody, and it's going to create a lot more division and a lot more hate, and there's going to be a lot of that stuff, which is why the work that you're doing, both in your coaching work and with the book and what you're doing, and you're putting yourself out there. I'm just so proud of you that you're putting yourself out there
Thank you.
more so than you ever have, and and in, including your gifts, your psychic gifts, and your ability to communicate with the other side. And by the way, your dad is very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're a little intuitive yourself.
Well, I pretend, uh, but no. If I were he, I would be saying, a couple things. First of all, he had when he was here, he had no way of combating what was going on in his own home, and he didn't understand it,
No.
and he couldn't deal with it, so he shut
No.
down.
Yep.
And so now
And
he's
so did I. So did I.
yes, but now that he's on the other side, he can see clearly what I think that's a song. I can see
Yeah.
clearly.
I can see clearly now. I
But
think
he
it's the rain is gone, but we could change it to, my physical life is gone.
yes, and the fear and all of that left stayed here when he left.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and so he now understands more completely and totally. He forgives your mom, by the way, and but at the same time, he is eternally grateful for who you are
Mhm.
and the person that you've become because you're helping people in a great way. And that I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything better than that.
Yeah, I love him tremendously, and you know, there was a bunch of family stuff that happened the last like 4 or 5 years that he was alive, and I was actually kept from seeing him on his deathbed, which was devastating. Um, but I remember like one of the very last conversations that he and I had. Um, he just told me that just to keep being myself. He's like, just keep being Allison. Like, don't let anyone take that away from you. And I had an agreement with so many different people for so long, and it was my agreement, um, to just put Allison kind of in a closet and live however they wanted me to live. And it's only been in the past 7 years, 5 to 7 years, that I finally am just like, you know what, Dad's right. I'm just gonna I'm going to be Allison, and whoever doesn't like it, I'm just not their person, and that's okay.
They're just vibrating at a much lower level. And when you people are, and we're energetic beings, and some people are just stuck in in a lower vibration, and they're stuck in the way that they've always been. And you have to create positive change in your life. Um,
Yeah, and then I just want to be really clear about that part of it too, is that I'm one of those people where I don't consider the lower vibration to be toxic. A lot of people are like, "Oh my God, those toxic people, like get them away from me." And I was in that party for a while, and then I came to realize that people don't want to be there, Kevin. It's not like they want to be vibrating low. They don't believe that they can vibrate any higher than what they're vibrating. And that is really, really heartbreaking to me.
It is. It is. Well, and the other thing that, in my opinion, after driving a bus for 12 years, and seeing all kinds of people that are of that are, homeless people and people that have got drug addiction problems and all those sorts of things, that and people create their surroundings and their dynamics around themselves, and they're going to do that until they decide not to. And
Right,
it's not our job to determine that for them, because that would be very judgmental, and all we
right,
can do is love them
right, and hold space.
and hold space for them.
Yeah.
And they may come around in this life. They may determine, it's so funny. Several years ago, I was at a wedding of one of my relatives, and there was a homeless camp nearby. And the homeless guys would be walking around in front of the church and doing all this. And I was talking with my brother, and we were having this philosophical discussion, because he was of the belief that God controls everything, and that we really haven't got any say in the matter, and that
Okay.
it is going to be what it's going to be. And this guy walked up and he said, "Well, is that why would God do that to me if I'm homeless and I can't do this?" And I said, "Well, from my philosophy is, you have a choice. You get to choose how you want to be. You get to choose what your life is going to be like. And if you choose that it's not your responsibility to choose, then you're just going to end up not where you want to be." And
Happy.
that actually had a resonance with him. Didn't tell my brother at all, but it had a resonance with him, and that's the work that you do. When people come to you and they say, "I don't know what I'm doing," or "Why did this happen again?" I just love that about you. As a matter of fact, real quick, I want to play this commercial that we created for you, and it's based upon your work. So stay right where you are. Have you ever said, "How did I do this again?" Want to create your own powerful life? Well, Allyson Roberts can help resolve the issues that keep repeating by creating a new outcome. She is one of the top 100 coaches in the world and will help you achieve your dreams. Email her at allison@allisonroberts.com or visit allisonroberts.com and receive a free guided meditation and discover all of her ongoing programs and events. See, that guy said it better than I could. So
I'm so excited because we actually created a new window for the free meditation, and it's really beautiful and it's cool. So
oh,
it's not
awesome.
just a button anymore. That was just a temporary thing, and now the window is actually up and it's gorgeous
Oh, very nice. Well, you're continuing to evolve all that you do.
all the time. Try to.
And what was really cool was that you put out that the book was coming out, I believe it was Thursday.
Mhm.
And the book's coming out on Thursday, and we wanted to put it on our stuff when we did, and I'm sure apparently other people did too, because by on Friday you emailed something out. What did you email out?
I emailed out.
That sales were brisk, that you
Yeah.
sold over 1,000 copies.
Yeah, in 12 hours.
That's, and by the way, you even the big old Amazon had to stand up and take notice about that.
Yeah, I'm getting emotional because, Um, whew, man, I have COVID right now. Um, so it's just been, um, it's kind of a bummer. You have COVID and it's like, the day that your book launches, you want to be out and like, dancing around. And I was like in the bed, coughing and checking my my oxygen level every hour. But I'm getting emotional because I am getting so many Facebook friend requests, and I usually accept them if it doesn't look like a fake account or whatever. But then as soon as the friend request has been accepted, it's people who've read my book and they found me on Facebook and they've been sending me messages just saying, oh my God, for the first time in my life, I feel like someone actually really understands me. And for the first time in my life, I feel like, I can breathe for the first time in my, I mean, like I've gotten like messages like yesterday, it was literally Kevin, like one right after the other.
That has to make your heart warm.
Oh my gosh, it's just been, um, I wasn't expecting it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, I figured we'd sell 100 or so books maybe, and eventually I would reach, a bestseller status, and that eventually it would happen, and it just happened immediately. And then the outpouring of the love has just been amazing.
You're very lucky in that, because a lot of times, and authors will tell you, and same thing in my world with the podcasting world and stuff, you can have an impact on people, but they won't ever tell you, and you won't know.
Yeah.
And so you're really, it's really cool that the work that you put out there, and you put it out there to help people, and it's actually having the desired effect. And that's what is making you emotional, is that you're helping people. And this book is going to be out there for a very long time, and is going to help a lot of people over time.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of people know this anymore, but there's also a script that's been written. So there's some very low level kind of conversation happening right now about possibly a movie. So we'll see.
Wow, who do you want to play you?
Hmm. Well, she's going to have to be really young. So, actually, one of my clients is an actress, and she could pass for me. So I would probably beg them to audition her. Actually,
Oh, very cool. that would be that would be awesome, because your story, and especially today, is really is important because of what you went through, with the pregnancy and becoming homeless, even though you had 3 houses that you could have gone to, but all 3 houses changed their locks and did not allow you in because of the pregnancy. and
yeah,
that, and that was not, and and also, as I recall, because the father of the baby was advocating for an abortion at the time,
yes,
and that never happened because within your heart, it didn't feel right, and you should always follow your heart. I don't care if you're pro-life, pro-choice, whatever. If you if and for you, that was the right decision. But it also now now fast forward to today, and you couldn't have gotten an abortion or even contemplated it. So it's amazing how things change, how our world
it,
has
it
changed.
is. It is. It's. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I don't know what I would have done. I really don't know what I would have done, had I wanted to go the other way. It's I can't imagine going through every single thing that I went through um, against my own choosing. Like if I had to have gone through what I went through because I was made to go through it, I don't know that I could have survived. Um, because it was hard enough to be homeless and living in my car in the freezing cold winter and feeling like just completely abandoned by, I mean, like every single place that I turned, it was just like door slam, door slam, door slam, door slam, and slam. So I can't imagine going through that because I was not able to have an abortion. Like I can't, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done, honestly. So, because the one thing that kept me going and that kept me sane was that I kept feeling like I was supposed to be keeping the pregnancy viable, even though I had no idea why. Like, it didn't make any sense to me at all. And if you read the book, at one point, I'm just like literally screaming at God. Like, and I mean, what the hell are you doing? Like, none of this makes any sense. I don't know what you want from me. And I just kept hearing just the next step to do, the next step to do, the next step to do. And I just followed all of that because I wanted to, not because I was being forced to. So I don't know, Kevin. It's gonna be really interesting to see what happens, where this takes us.
Yes, it will be, and I just don't think it's going to be a good place, because of other implications as far as other Supreme Court rulings that are now in jeopardy. I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine being a poor black girl in the South and doesn't have the means to travel and doesn't have the ability.
Any race. I mean, but let's hear what you're saying. But I mean, any race. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
or yeah, just a poor black person or poor person that doesn't have the means to be able to travel, doesn't have the family surrounding them, because you're right. It wasn't a matter when you were in that place. It wasn't a matter of you didn't think people were around and cared for you. There weren't anybody. There just
no,
wasn't anybody.
there was not. No.
And so, by the way, because I know you read Napoleon Hill's book, did you ever? I can't. I'm not even sure. Is he still with us?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, he's been gone for a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you have you ever um, have you ever thought about talking to him on the other side, or do you feel like he's been around you at all?
It's so weird. Someone else asked me that the other day. Um, I have not even ever even thought about it. So now you and one other person the other day, I'm definitely going to sit down and see if I can make any kind of connection because I don't believe in coincidences, and that is definitely synchronicity. So I will, if it happens, Kevin, you will be the third person to know.
Awesome. I would love to know that, because you and I have made the decision that we're gonna go down the road a bit, and we are gonna work together. And so you're on Positive Talk Radio on KKNW once a month. As a matter of fact, you don't know this, but I had a guest cancel last Monday at 9 a.m. So I played your replay of
Oh,
that
nice.
of that
Thanks.
show as well. Oh, you're welcome. And well, not only because you're a friend of mine, but it was a great show, and
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
it's very and can be very impactful. So we did that. You're going to be on KKNW once a month. We're going to do a bunch of podcasts together, and and you're going to hook me up with all of the speakers that you've got coming up for your event, which is coming up in October. And I'm going to we're having a decision whether or not, because I'm in Seattle, you're in Georgia, and it's in Atlanta. That's a long way to go, and it's the airfare and for few people and stuff. And but we are going to send Holly, and
Great.
she will have she's looking forward to it. Actually, she's going to have a really
He's
good
going to
time.
have so much fun with us.
Yes, and I
She may
think
never go back.
I know.
She may decide because she can work from anywhere. So she may just decide to just stay with us and work from Atlanta.
Yeah, so tell us about the conference is coming up. I believe October 19th to the 22nd.
Yes. Actually, the 21st. So, but
Okay.
Holly will be leaving the 22nd more than likely.
More than
Yeah, so it's called Behind the Power. We are bringing people together to teach them how to tap into the power that's inside of them, how to overcome all of the stories that they tell themselves that they can't do it because they don't have the money or the time, or they don't know how, or things are too hard. So, the beautiful thing about Behind the Power is that they're going to have the opportunity, every person that attends will be active in breakout sessions, panels. I'm going to be pulling people up on stage like a crazy person, coaching people left and right. So if you are listening to this and you want to start a business, or you've started a business and it's just like crickets, and you cannot figure out what's happening, or you're doing amazing, but you cannot seem to get to the next level no matter what you try, you want to go to behindthepowerevent.com and get a ticket like right now, because for whatever reason the past couple of days the tickets have been like they're, I guess it's the book, I think it's the book that is helping, but tickets are selling, they're selling faster right now than they have since we opened up the gates to sell the tickets. So if you're on the fence, you need to get your ticket, because I guarantee you in the next month or two, we're not going to have any left.
Isn't that exciting?
It's so exciting. I'm over the moon excited about this.
So what is it about you? Because you've got so many good things happening to you. Of course, your life must have been, like cupcakes and cherries your whole life, because it must have been easy because you're doing so much, which is exactly the opposite. Because your life had its challenges and stuff. But you have what I call, I've got a term that I wanted to share with you, that it's something that I'm working on, and it's called authentic grit. And authentic grit, in my terminology, means that somebody that is not prepared to give up, that is going to do the best that they can do, and experience life in a myriad of ways, and also become the best version of themselves that they can. And they do that through a bunch of different, through gratitude, and just a whole bunch of different things. What do you think? Is that a good thing to be talking about, authentic grit?
I love it. Yeah, I think authentic grit is the way it's landing with me is just taking radical personal responsibility. Not, doesn't, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to take responsibility for being raped. I'm not going to take responsibility for my husband cheating on me. And that's not what it means. It means taking radical personal responsibility to respond, to heal, so that you respond and not just stay in this constant reactionary mode where you're just jacked up all the time. It's being jacked up is not good.
That's right. And I would like to compliment you as well, because I was having this conversation with my son the other day, and he was saying, well, this happened, and so this is how I reacted. And I said, no, what you want to say is, this is how I responded, because reaction is something that may be involuntary, and it may be a spur of the moment thing. How I responded is well thought out, and is how you choose to respond to a situation, rather than just blindly react to it. So I'm
Uh,
glad you use that. Am I correct in that? Is that how you think about it too?
yeah, I mean, responding it comes from a place of rationale and healing, where reacting is just, it's flight, fight, or freeze, and you're in it, it's like ah, you're just right. But when you're responding, it's like, man, that doesn't really sit well with me, but let's talk it through and let's come to a mutual decision. By the way, did you share with your son the intuitive message that I received for him?
Oh, which was it again?
The one that came through on the radio about moving and his wife and their baby and
Oh no, he won't believe any of that. So he's one of the he's been around me a long time, Allison, and he knows I've been doing positive talk radio for a long time. He knows I talk to people like you, and he thinks that I am just wildly positive and optimistic when there's no real reason for me to be that, other other than the fact that that's what I want to be. And that's what I, because
Yeah.
I love talking to people like you, and I really think that we need more positivity in the world. So he's not, he's only 34, so I'm giving him time. He's not there yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but I thank you for that. I did mention that to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
whatever."
and that was just so crazy because that all that information came flooding through, and you're like, oh wait a minute, that's about my son. Oh wait, that's also about my son. Oh wait, that's also about my son. I was like, whoa, that was really cool.
That was, yeah, that was. Um, I didn't actually. I forgot which. This is the younger one, and ladies and gentlemen, she called out his birth date. And she only had like 3 days to choose from, and I think you said it was like from May 31st to July 2nd that they were born in that. Well, he was born on July 1st, so and he's had difficulty with his marriage, and
Yeah.
he's had his child has had difficulty with that, and it's like one thing after another. And it's like, but I can't, but he doesn't buy any of the stuff that I do either, but it's okay, they're young, I'll give them
Yeah,
time.
it's okay.
It's, and they just come to me and say, "Dad, you got any money?" So you know how that is. So Allyson, I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're sick.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
but hell, this is the fastest 36 minutes and that I've been down through in my life. I want to play Holly's version of the commercial for you, and then we'll wrap this up so that you can get some rest.
Okay. Sounds good.
Do you believe in the combination of brain work and spirituality? Her grace and sense of humor have made Allyson Roberts highly sought after. She's a cognitive behavioral expert with natural intuition. Allyson has guided thousands of people all over the world to find their internal power. Visit ALLYSONROBERTS.com for your free guided meditation today.
And if anybody wants us to make a commercial for you, we can do that. We are actually a media company, so we can help you do that and stuff. And we're playing that commercial all over the place, and I'm hoping that it's having a good response for you, my friend.
Yeah, and I just want to say that if anyone is struggling with their finances or money in the guided meditation, there is subliminal stuff underneath the music for your subconscious mind to attract, to basically become a money magnet. So you definitely want to download that free meditation. I have countless testimonials from people saying, "Oh my gosh, I've $50, $100, $2,000." One person was 68,000. So you definitely want that meditation.
Yes, you do. If you are, and I think most of us are financially challenged at one point or another, and if you recognize that it is just energy, and
It is.
it's just a positive energy that you have, you can that, and that's the most freeing thing that I want people to understand by working with you and by listening to you, is that you are a strong advocate that you can do anything that you choose to do. You just have to choose to do it, and sometimes
Yeah,
you need
you
help
can
with that.
you can also do anything that you choose not to do, meaning that you can talk yourself right out of an amazing, incredible things with fear. So we are that powerful. So Kevin, thank you so much for having me again today.
You know what I find when we do these, and we've done a few of these now, is that
Hmm.
they get better every time we do them,
Yay. I love that.
because you are just that talented. So
Well,
go
thank you.
go to Behind the Power. Is that right?
Behind the Power event.
BehindThePowerEvent.com, and get your ticket. I'm going to get off here and I'm going to go buy a ticket today. Oh, by the way, just so you know, and they added this just for Holly and I, but you can take advantage of it too. Is that, if you, as an example, the event starts Wednesday morning at 9. So if you're on the West Coast, this is in Atlanta. So if you're on the West Coast, you're going to want to fly in on Tuesday, and
Yeah.
then you're going to want, now it ends on Friday afternoon late, and so you're going to want to probably stay the night Friday night, unless you have you like pain, because you don't want to go to the airport at 6:00 on Friday night, and so
Not in Atlanta, you don't.
no, so you can stay again at the hotel. This is a 4-star hotel. It is, or 5-star, one of the two, and it's a really cool place. And they, oh, by the way, I'm going to make Holly bring her bathing suit, because they have a swimming pool on top of the building. Did you know that? Yeah.
And it's heated.
But in Atlanta in October, it won't need any heat. It'll still be hot.
Yeah, it'll be hot.
But still, so you can stay Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and leave Saturday. So it becomes easy for you. Fly on Tuesday, you get there, check into the hotel, then be at the conference at 9 a.m. And they did that just for us. And the hotel is giving them the conference rates for all 4 nights. So
yes.
You don't have to worry about going to a different hotel. You can go there. You just take an Uber from the airport, and you go there, and you're there, and you're going to have, and breakfast and lunch is covered for you. And there's
every day.
Yeah. And there's a couple of dinners. I mean, this is a classy deal. You're doing this top notch.
The thing about it is that, and I know that I'm no, Lisa Nichols or Jack Canfield by any stretch of imagination. However, I'm very wise, and I teach things that are absolutely life-changing. And you cannot go to one of their conferences for under $1,000 or right around $1,000, but that does not include breakfast or lunch or a dinner or a cocktail hour or anything else. Like, that is just the ticket. So our most expensive stay is $1,267, and that includes breakfast, lunch, all 3 days, a cocktail hour, a dinner with me, a private session with me, breakout sessions, all of my meditations, my course, Stop Shilting on Yourself, a 4-hour inner child workshop. So, we're like piling you with gifts and tools and all the things. So there's really, if you want to change your life, you need to be there.
And you might even end up on the radio, because we're going to be there to do live broadcasts from the facility, at least, probably Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for sure. And we'll be able to talk to you and the coaches as you can free them up for us to just touch bases with them. And real quick, by the way, there's one thing I want to teach you, because this I can teach you. You know what this means?
Nope.
Do you remember the old Etch-a-Sketch?
Yeah.
Where if you took it and shook it like this, you'd erase what you'd written on it. You're every bit as good as Jack Canfield. So don't even go there. So you're every bit as good as that. So I want you to erase that thought from your head. There you go.
Thank you.
So I've met Jack Canfield. I've met Neil Donald Walsh. I've met Gary Zukav. I've met Marianne Williamson. I've met a lot of really talented people, and you're one of them.
Oh, so, thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you for that.
That's no bullshit. That's just the truth. No brag, just fact, as they say. You go get some rest, okay? And
I will.
I want to thank you for doing this, and I have so much fun with you.
I have fun with you too. Thank you so much.
So if you'll wait right there, I'll be right back, and we'll terminate this whole thing. Hey, thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of PositiveTalkRadio.net. Please visit our website, oddly named PositiveTalkRadio.net, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to one another, because each other's all we got.